конечно, Антей является такой Меккой. Ни один клуб не может похвастаться. Ну, как в Америке, там, Мекка бодибилдинга, там, Майами, там, куча клубов, да, и там такие суперчемпионы.
Of course, Antey has become a mecca for women's bodybuilding fitness and body fitness long time ago. And for the past several years, mainly for body fitness. No any other club in Russia can boast with having produced 11 masters of sport of international class of Russia. We are allowed to conduct any type of competitions without a preliminary attestation, be it the Russian, World or European Championship. And everyone is confident that any tournament will be conducted at the highest level. And behind all this is a certain man. And this man is Evgeny Kolton, the founder and long-standing president of the Tumen Athletic Club Antey. In Soviet times, the name of this man has become legendary. It is he who was the founder of bodybuilding in our region. In recent Russian history, he also rendered many services in organizing and hosting the European Championships in Tumen and producing a constellation of the world and European champions. Evgeny Sidorovich is an outstanding and ever-active person. He's got more than enough energy. He is always capable for organizing big tournaments and do his training work. Among his pupils are the two-time world champion and merited master of sports of Russia, Natalia Proskuryakova, the first Russian European champion in bodybuilding, Elena Davidova, world and European champions in fitness and body fitness, Zhanna Babanina, Natalia Gurevskih, Yulia Ushakova, Anna Sorokina, Elena Goog, and other famous athletes. To produce the famous masters, Kolton had to walk a long course of life. Needless to say that the sports he began practicing in his native homes was not related to bodybuilding, and he was keen on it quite by chance. No one heard much about bodybuilding in those distant Soviet years. Antey began its life in October 1966 in the sporting gym of a Tumen Industrial Institute's main building under the guidance of Kolton the coach, that time a third-year student of the above-mentioned institute. On the 20th of February 1967, by proposal from the first secretary of Tumen Regional Committee of the All-Soviet Communist Youth Union, so-called Komsomol, Gennady Shmal, a historic decision has been made, according to which the club has been officially attached to the regional Komsomol headquarters. The development of a club was advancing with giant strides. In the beginning, there was an acute shortage of training area, and those who wanted to train in the club had to pass through a certain competitive selection. And in March 1968, Tumen was hosting the All-Siberian Athleticism competition, as in those years the bodybuilding was called, if that would be necessary to get a permission from the party officials. The competition program included bench press, back squat, chin-up, and the most spectacular part of the all-around events was the posturing. In 1969, Evgeny Kolton had organized and hosted the first international tournament in Tumen, which had been visited by Polish athletes, and then followed by a return visit to Poland. But the real success to Kolton, the coach, came only in the middle of 80s. Not everything went smoothly for Antey. There were the hard times when the bodybuilding was almost prohibited, and the shortage for training gym still existed.
Были люди, которые очень, и много их достаточно, которые грамотно все понимали, нас поддерживали и так далее. Были и в другую сторону, тем временем были, в первую очередь, тот же Шмаль Геннадьевич, который был, так сказать, на своем пике, вторым обкомом партии, который как бы и так далее. И там еще много людей.
There were people who supported us. In the first place, it is of course Gennady Iosifovich Shmal, and later many other people on Komsomol and communist parties. For example, such as the first governor of Tumen region, Yuri Konstantinovich Shafranik, and many others. I cannot complain now. We had been supported differently at various times, but we always had support, because it was obvious that we were doing a lot for the improvement of people's health.
В разной степени там как бы это, но в общем-то поддерживали.
In 1972, after having gone through a thorny path of searches, Antey has at last found a place in the building basement at the Odeskaya Street 24 in Tumen. Within the past 18 years, this gym with 55 square meters of area became popular not only in Tumen but in Russia on the whole. That was the gym that began producing stars of the international level. And particularly such names should be noted as Elena Davidova and Andrei Startsev. At the first first Cup of Russia in Astrakhan in 1989, Andrei Startsev, the Evgeny Koltun's pupil, had won a title of Russian vice champion in the heavyweight division. Also, he gained a brilliant victory at one of the first Tumen international tournaments, Grand Prix Tumen 1989. And precisely at that tournament, the star of a legendary Russian sportswoman Elena Davidova, another pupil of Evgeny Koltun, began rising. She took second place in the up to 52 kg weight category. Her weight was only 49 kg that time. Elena has had a brilliant sporting career. She became the international class master of sports of Russia, 7-time open weight bodybuilding Russian champion, first Russian European champion in 1996, first Russian vice champion of the world in pair mixed competition in Bratislava in 1997, together with Alexander Yashankin from Ulyanovsk region. In pair mixed competition, Elena was performing successfully not only with Alexander Yashankin, but also with her club mate Andrei Nosov, having won at the All-Russian tournaments. By Antey's initiative, Tumen began hosting the Grand Prix international tournaments of highest level, with the world-famous athletes and senior officials present as honored guests. The Tumen residents will remember for long the visits of such bodybuilding celebrities as founder and long-standing IFBB president, the legendary Ben Weider, and the current IFBB and EBFF president, Rafael Santoya from Spain. The bodybuilding world stars, four-time Miss Olympia Landa Murray, nicknamed as Black Panther, Vince Taylor from USA, and Patrick Nichols from Great Britain. At that time, the visits of delegations from various countries of the world were very significant events for Tumen, not only in the region's sporting life, but for the region on the whole. The culmination of big competitions in Tumen became the European Championship 1994, where athletes from around 30 countries were present. At that time, it was a real breakthrough in the whole regional sports. Almost every tournament Grand Prix Tumen didn't go without successful performances of Antey's athletes. Above-mentioned Elena Davidova won a bronze medal at the European Championship in Tumen. In 1997, another pupil of Evgeny Koltun, Zhana Babanina, has become an absolute world champion in fitness and at the international tournament Grand Prix Tumen. As long ago as in 1995, Zhana took part in the first IFBB tournament Miss Fitness Olympia in Atlanta, USA, where in company of many international celebrities she took 13th place of 17. After this event, her achievements began going uphill. She won silver at the European Championship in Poland in 1998 and became a four-time Russian absolute fitness champion. A special pride of Evgeny Koltun is a two-time bodybuilding world champion Natalia Proskuryakova. In 1992, the roads of Evgeny Koltun and Natalia, the Tumen skier and student of the Tumen State University of Physical Culture, fortunately crossed. She, as many others, came to athletic club just for improving her figure.
Мое похудение буквально закончилось на второй день, когда я
My weight losing has finished on the second day when I got acquainted with Evgeny Isidorovich Koltun. He said to me, "Now we have to increase a muscle mass to perform at stage. Why should the beauty like you skiing across the forest not be seen by anyone?" Those were the key words. There was a mad desire to show my worth not only as an athlete but simply as a girl. In 1999, Natalia won one of her most memorable prizes. She was young and just a beginner, unknown to the world, when she came to Sydney, Australia for her first World Championship. And it seemed that competing with the notable athletes must be impossible for her. But the Tumen athlete made her most titled and experienced competitors respect herself. And one of them was a local star.
Короче, я говорю, Наташа, ты главное за ней не становись, там в очередь на взвешивание, на регистрацию.
I said to her, Natasha, you are in the registration and weighing in, do not get too close to her, as she looks so muscular. And Natalia was humbly walking in the end of athlete's column. But when she stepped on the weighing machine and everyone saw the proportions of her body and aesthetics, the flashlights broke out immediately, and the coaches noticed her. And in the first round, can you imagine that? She was called on stage 11 times for a comparison with the best athletes. I don't know, maybe they thought it would make her tired, exhausted and lose in the end. But she held out, and the gold medal evidently had to belong to her. So Proskuryakova in the end won a silver medal and a year later changed it for a gold one. Nowadays, her name is known to the whole bodybuilding world. She made history as the first Russian bodybuilder ranked as a merited master of sports of Russia. Antey was always keeping up with the time. The new trends such as fitness and then body fitness began developing earlier than in other Russian clubs. And shortly, the new Tumen champions began appearing. Firstly Zhana Babanina and then Natalia Gurievsky, who within the 6th year walked the way from a first witness junior champion of Russia in 1999 to the world absolute champion in 2004. In the beginning of a new millennium, many interesting events happened. There were medals won at various competitions, new stars appeared, but many of those victories were gained not only owing to the grit and labor, but also in defiance of the existing problems and lack of Antey's own sports base. On the eve of a very important competition, such as Junior European Championship in Tumen, Colton and his team did not have a gym, and the girls were forced to have trainings at various clubs of Tumen.
Кижеватовцы нас тоже позвали туда, ребята, чтобы хотя бы там.
Within a half year, we were having our trainings at the Kishevatovets club. The Antey's training equipment were kept away. The cups were given to some people and sometimes unfamiliar people. But then we had a meeting with the management, and that was another story. But regardless of this, the pupils of Evgeny Colton did not let down their mentor and won 4 gold medals at European Championship 2007 in Tumen. Needless to say that during this difficult period for Antey, the young pupils of Colton Elena Gook, Yulia Ushakova and Aminat Tuliubayeva, previously gymnasts, has proved that they have a real character. In 2008, at the Russian Junior Body Fitness Championship in Chelyabinsk, Elena, Yulia and Aminat have occupied the whole podium. Elena won in the category up to 158 centimeters for the first time in her life. In 2008, at the World Championship in Plzeň, Czech Republic, Elena and Yulia won silver, which according to many experts' opinion was very much shot with gold. Yana Minat, performing abroad for the first time in her life, in the final took 3rd place in the body fitness junior category over 163. Evgeny Colton is a good psychologist. When the stars had just begun training in his club, he could inspire girls that they would become world champions.
Он достаточно так мягко и ненавязчиво.
He so gently and so unobtrusively offered, said to me that I would become the world champion. When I came for the first time to Antey and saw Elena Davidova, I was looking at them and thinking, how unreal these people are.
Когда мы только пришли, он говорил: вы будете моими будущими чемпионками. Мы еще были маленькие, нам было.
When we just came, he said to us, you are my future world champions. We were very young that time, 13 years old, and that was so enticing and interesting. Did you believe you would become world champion? Yes, as every girl believes she would be a world champion. In 2009, Elena Gook performed for the first time at Women's World Championship in Italy, Como, and won a silver medal in the body fitness category up to 158 centimeters. In November the same year in Białystok, Poland, at Junior World Championship, she together with another Colton's pupil Svetlana Yurkova caused a real commotion, having won the absolute world champion titles in body fitness and fitness respectively. At Junior, Yulia Ushakova began her triumphant walk towards the title of strongest body fitness athlete of Russia, Europe and the world in autumn 2010. Having begun with unconditional victory at the Russian Body Fitness Championship in Ekaterinburg in the junior open-weight category adult body fitness competition over 168 centimeters, before October 2011 she won 6 tournaments in succession, and 5 of them as an absolute champion. These tournaments include European Championship 2011 in Tumen and World Championship 2011 in Serbia. Year 2011 also turned out to be brilliant for Elena Gook, who, like Yulia, won the Russian, European and World Championships in women's body fitness up to 158 centimeters category. And the most precious reward for her 8-year work was the qualifying standard of Merited Master of Sports of Russia. Another talented 7-year-old pupil of Evgeny Colton, Aminat Tuliubayeva, has become a bronze winner at the Women's European Body Fitness Championship in Tumen and silver winner at the European Body Fitness Junior Championship in Madrid in 2011. The list of Antey's achievements can go on and on. Another, not the least thing, is that a club didn't turn into a small group for elite athletes only. During the years of its history, many thousands of Tumen region people went through it, and it also gave a great deal to the current mayor of Tumen, Alexander Moor.
В 11 классе уже практически закончив школу перед выпускными экзаменами.
In 11th grade of high school, I was keen on bodybuilding and began my training under the guidance of Evgeny Colton. And exactly in this sport I made my best achievements, when at the Cup of Russia took the 2nd place. I didn't part company with him. I mean, I always keep contact with this unique man, who is shouldering alone the development of this sport. And with all my best, I always try to support the holding of competitions. And in the end of this story, another event should be